On the opening night of the 64-65 season, the number 1 was retired to the Garden Rafters to honor Walter Brown, and Bill Russell vowed to win that season's championship in memory of the Celtics founder. But a large obstacle stood in Boston's way: Wilt Chamberlain and the Philadelphia 76ers. These two teams staged a titanic 7-game battle in the Eastern Division Finals. Boston appeared to have Game 7 under control when a Philadelphia turnover led to a Satch Sanders basket, giving the Celtics a 7-point lead with only 1 minute remaining. But the 76ers were not done. A Wilt Chamberlain free throw cut Boston's lead to 3 with just over 30 seconds left. And after a Celtic 24-second violation, Boston allowed Chamberlain an uncontested dunk, narrowing the margin to just 1 point. Then, with only seconds remaining, Bill Russell made a mistake that could have cost a championship.
Chamberlain was crowding, and Russell stepped back, which put the guy wire slightly in front of him or directly overhead. And he didn't realize it. And as he put the ball into play, it hit the guy wire. That automatically gave the ball to Philadelphia under the basket in which they were shooting. And there were 5 to 8 seconds left, and, you know, it looked bad.
Well, there was disbelief, more or less, feeling that that shouldn't have been a play that was going to stop us or stymie us or whatever. But in fact, the rule had been interpreted by the officials, and Red was sort of arguing with the officials that this can't be. And all of a sudden, we had about 2 seconds to make up our mind what we were going to do.
And for the first time, there were players in the huddle, and that wasn't the kind of thing that the Celtics sort of leaned on, skills and all the other things. So we were hoping and praying with our hands and heads bowed that we'd have some luck.
Sam Jones and I were trying to decide who we were going to guard, and I said to Sam, let me take Johnny Kerr because I play more forward than you and I'm more accustomed to being under the boards. You play out on top, and it might be a little more familiar with you. He said, no. He said, I'll keep Kerr off the boards. And before you knew it, the ball was being handed to the official. And I said, okay. So as the ball was being inbounded, I watched as the official handed Hal Greer the ball, and I started counting to myself 1001, 1002, 1003. Knowing that he only had 5 seconds to inbound the ball, and I knew that we'd be very aggressive on the inbound play. After about 3.5 seconds, nothing had happened, and generally on an out-of-bounds play, within the first second or two, a pass is made. Consequently, I was keeping my eye on the ball and on my man.
The minute it left Greer's hands, I mean the very moment it left Greer's hands, John was on the move.
Greer's putting the ball in play. He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it over to Sam Jones. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over. It's all over. Johnny Havlicek is being mobbed by the fans. Johnny Havlicek stole the ball.
Lobbed the ball out to Chet Walker, and as he lobbed it, I thought right away that I might have a chance to deflect it, intercept it, or whatever. And as this happened, I was able to go up and momentarily control it, deflect it to Sam Jones, who dribbled out the clock. Russell was the first one to get to me because he realized that he had been wearing the goat horns, and he said, thank you for taking those horns off the top of my head. And by that time, trying to get to the locker room was almost an impossibility, and the fans really got crazy. They started to rip at my jersey, and they did tear my jersey off. They were so jubilant about this victory. After the jersey was gone, people wanted more of me, and they started tugging at my pants. So at that point, that's when I started swinging, and I made it into the locker room. And when I got to the locker room, I had scratches all over my body because of them tugging at the jersey, and particularly right here where the stirrup of the shirt goes over your collarbone. That was worn raw because everyone was tugging and pulling, and it had gone through the skin, but I didn't feel any pain at that time.
I was going nuts, okay, saying Havlicek stole the ball, going over and over again, hysterically at the top of my voice, and a couple of broadcasters, Gary LaPierre for one, used to call it my dog whistle voice because only dogs could hear it. And But I was right at the top of that, you know, the highest octave I can reach. And then I realized there was a commercial coming. So I said, we'll be right back right after this, right after I had said, believe it, fans, John Havlicek saved this ball game. We'll be back right after this. We'll be back in just one moment, or whatever it was I said. At that point, the commercial was the end of a bedtime story. It was a mattress commercial, you know, some kind of sleep commercial. And the first line was, that's the end of a bedtime story.
Oh, boy, what a play by Havlicek at the end of this ball game. Johnny Havlicek stole the ball on the basket. Oh, my, what a play by Havlicek. A spectacular series comes to an end.